So therefore, I've been greeting you, I always greet you, you don't answer. So therefore, from today henceforth, I will not be greeting you again. You should guess. I know you can guess the answer, what the response would be. So I won't be the one to guess that for you. So years has passed. I'm not grown. I'm not an adult. I'm not married, and I'm not living in my own home. So I happen to have the privilege of having people, older persons, sometimes older persons, and most times, mostly younger persons living with me as at that time. Guess what? When they wake up in the morning and the younger ones walk up to me to greet me, I don't have issues greeting those who are older. Just, I've always been doing that, so I never had issues. So I just walk up to the older ones. I greet my husband, of course. I greet other persons. I was unite and all that, so I never had issues with that. But guess what? Anytime any of those younger people walk up to me to greet me in the morning, I had problem with it. I had serious problem with it. I felt angry. I felt irritated. I felt disgusted. And I'm like, why are you greeting me? Why are you greeting me? They notice that I don't answer. The same way I couldn't confront my mom, or I couldn't say it out. The same way they couldn't walk up to me and say, Mommy, Glad, why is it I will always greet you and you don't answer? So me too wasn't answering them. It became so bad to the point that I started harassing them for greeting me. Just listen to me. I started harassing them. I walked up to some of them and I asked them, why are you greeting me? Why are you greeting me? Also greet me. Sometimes when they take their food and they come, I said, baby, don't greet me. Just go and eat. Stop greeting me. I started warning them, to stop greeting me. My mom was that she doesn't respond. And maybe when you press a little bit, she'll just tell you in a local dialect what I said earlier. But mine was that I started harassing them, warning them, and they take your food, just go and eat, don't greet me, must you greet me, must you greet me. It became quarrel, it became fight, it was so terrible. At some point I sat down one morning and I asked myself, what are you doing? Is this good? Is this healthy? That people wake up in the morning, people who are younger, people who are supposed to be your children, wake up in the morning and walk up to you to greet you, and you feel offended, you feel angry. Is this not the same thing that your mom used to do that you didn't like? Are you not doing the same thing even in the worst manner? I really felt so touched. My husband tried to talk to me at some point, but when he saw that it wasn't making sense, he kept quiet. But I knew inside of me that this is what my mom used to do, that hurt me very well, that made me feel bad, that I'm doing the same thing even in the worst manner. I'm treating them badly and it wasn't healthy. So I felt so bad. Guess what? It took, whatever I'm telling you now looks like maybe something that happened in a few hours, but it took me years. It took me years, to adjust. It took me years to consciously, reply or respond to people when they greet me, especially when they are younger. It took me time. I had to tell myself, I had to teach myself, reorient myself and say, whatever you're doing now is wrong. Whatever circle you're trying to build is wrong. It wasn't healthy. Someone did it to you and you didn't like it. Now you are doing the same thing to other persons and you're not putting into consideration how they feel. They are feeling exactly how you felt, even worse. They are feeling bad, but they can't tell you, they can't share. I have to call some of them and start apologizing and say, don't be offended. You can greet me now. I'm learning very hard, how to respond. When I greeted my mom, she didn't answer. So I felt bad. I said I will never behave that way. But right now, I'm behaving that way. So please bear with me. It was a bad, it was a struggle. It took me years to finally adjust. So right now I can hug you and I say, hey, how are you? I can even walk up to you. I couldn't do that before. I could only do that to other persons. But right now I can hug my son in the morning. I can say he greets me. I can respond. But initially it was very hard. It was very hard. So why am I sharing this story? It's very easy to look at other persons and count their faults. especially your parents. Maybe your father did this, my father did that, I'll never be like my father. Oh, my father was a womanizer, my father never provided for us, or my mother didn't care, or my mother was not emotional, she didn't love me, she didn't show me love. No, it's very easy to complain about the things that your parents did, but sometimes you are just a copy. You are just a copy, a replica of them. You do not know yet, because you do not have the privilege, that space to express it. But sometimes, if we're not careful, we're going to replicate exactly the same thing that people did to us, our parents did to us, that we didn't like. We become such persons. When I say this, the subconscious mind, copies, takes images, experiences, emotions, everything that we've gone through, and puts it there. And the subconscious mind controls the conscious mind. So I wasn't acting that way because I wanted to act that way. I was acting that way because something bigger was controlling me. So while we talk about people and talk about our parents, my father did that, God, you got to watch out for yourself. You got to watch out for yourself. So I don't want to even mention the things that I am still struggling with, even as an adult. Why? Because of the images that I've seen. So while we talk about other persons, watch out for yourself. Just watch out for yourself. You can't wish it away. Praying doesn't solve this. Tongue sin doesn't solve it. Wishing it doesn't solve it. It's going to take conscious, deliberate, intentional effort to see a change. It's going to take, everyday conscious efforts to see a change. So while you talk about people, what they did to you, watch out for yourselves.